A citizen can cast a ballot in every election and still find themselves stripped of any actual political power. The modern fight for representation has moved away from the physical ballot box. Today, the map itself has become the primary battlefield for political control. This is gerrymandering 2.0. Using advanced analytics and specialized software, political operatives now predict voting behavior house by house. They can engineer an election's outcome months before a single person walks into a polling station. Mathematical manipulation of this scale transforms geography into a precise tool of control, targeting the collective political strength of Black communities through the use of data and algorithms. Critics describe this as a form of political lynching. It is a legal, quiet method to enforce civic erasure, destroying representation without ever technically breaking a voting law. Following the Civil War, constitutional amendments attempted to guarantee a multiracial democracy. This expansion of rights triggered a systemic and often violent reaction that sought to restore previous power structures. During the era of vote denial, states used explicit tactics like poll taxes and literacy tests. When the law wasn't enough, they used violent terror to physically stop Black citizens from voting. This era of open exclusion lasted until 1965. The Voting Rights Act created a federal firewall known as preclearance, requiring jurisdictions with a history of discrimination to prove that any changes to their district maps wouldn't weaken minority voting strength. In 2013, that protection collapsed. In Shelby County v. Holder, the Supreme Court removed the preclearance formula, with the majority arguing that the nation had progressed enough that these specific federal oversight rules were no longer necessary. Without federal oversight, several states immediately introduced new voting laws and district maps. When outright exclusion is outlawed, entrenched power structures innovate new methods of control. In the post-Shelby era, the strategy shifted to vote dilution. Since the state can no longer legally prevent people from voting, the new goal is to control how those votes translate into legislative seats. One strategy is packing. As you can see on this diagram, the map is redrawn to concentrate as many minority voters as possible into a single district. They may win that one seat, but their surplus political influence is wasted in every surrounding district. The opposite approach is cracking. Here, a unified community is fractured across multiple districts. Their voting strength is sliced into small segments, ensuring they are outnumbered in every corner of the map. These tactics are often hidden behind the language of data optimization and states' rights. By appearing neutral and administrative, the maps avoid the explicit racial terminology used in earlier eras. Modern algorithms and engineered boundaries now achieve the same civic erasure that older generations once pursued through Jim Crow segregation. Despite centuries of continuous suppression, the pattern of Black political life in America is one of recurring reinvention. For every system designed to fracture their influence, these communities adapted, rebuilt, and forged new coalitions. Generations of civil rights leaders forced the American system to confront its contradictions, expanding the boundaries of democracy for everyone. This generational resilience bridges historical movements and today's courtrooms, linking the physical fight for civil rights to the modern defense of the vote. Constitutional rights are not self-sustaining. They depend entirely upon judicial interpretation and the willingness of the public to defend them. Protecting representation today requires recognizing that the battlefield has changed. The threat to the vote no longer looks like a physical mob. It looks like a silent algorithm. The American democratic experiment remains unfinished. The struggle to decide who fully belongs in this democracy is being fought.